Hello everyone. Today I'm going to show you how to get an approval from ISBE for sign language interpreting. The first step that you want to do is go to the ISBE website, and that is ISBE.net. Then you're going to want to go over to the ELIS, the Educator Licensure Information System. Once you're on that page, you're going to want to go to Educator Access right here. And then you're going to want to create an account if it's your first time. You'll type in all this information here, and then once you have an account, you'll log in. From there, you get to your home page here, and I already have this information all filled out, but you may have to fill out some of this information here. I already have my approvals, but I'm going to show you guys how to do it on your end. First thing that you're going to want to do is go down to the bottom of the page where it says apply for an approval. You'll want to click through using the wizard, and when it gets to the list of approvals, you want to click interpreters, sign language. If you're an interpreter for acute speech, you'd go to acute speech instead. There is two different types of approval. There's an interim approval that's good for 2 years, and then there's the regular approval, which is good for 5 years and can be renewed. The interim approval cannot be renewed. But for both of them, you're just going to click Interpreter Sign Language. And once you submit your documents, then you'll be able to, then they will determine whether or not you get the interim approval or the 5-year approval. Now, I've already gone through this application, but it's pretty straightforward. You just click through, you follow the instructions on the wizard. They're going to ask for a little bit more information, but it actually never asks you to upload any documents or submit any proof of your EIPA or BEI or your RID certificate or even your transcripts. So a lot of people get confused after going through the wizard here, and they think that they're done, but as you can see, when you finish that and you don't submit any paperwork, you'll then get a deficiency letter, like I did. And the deficiency letter actually explains a whole lot more in depth what you have to do to get the approval. Ironic. So then it also lists the guidelines for what you need for the approval here. To get the 2-year approval, you need these. To get the 5-year approval, you need these. You'll have to send this information to their office. And the easiest way to do that is actually emailing them. Your transcripts from your college can be sent. They have to be sent directly from your college to transcripts@isbe.net. And then for anything like your BEI, your RID certification, or your EIPA, you can scan those documents and then send it to licensure@isbe.net. You can actually, there's a neat little thing, you can actually go in and check to see that they've received your documents. If you go under Educator and then you go to Images, when they receive it, they'll upload their images here. You can't actually click on them to see what things look like, but you can see the description that they've written in here. You can also see the degrees when they've received your transcripts here. And you can also go over to My Credentials and see when they have received your application and then the status of it. Once it's approved, it'll say approved. Before that, it usually says pending. Well, that's pretty much it. If you have any trouble, with this, or if it's taking forever, I would suggest calling the ISBE office that's closest to you, or just their main line, to get this figured out. Sometimes it can take a little while. If you're still looking for a job, don't worry. Continue to look. because often the administrators at your school have the ability to kind of nudge ISBE along in the approval process. One last note for sign language interpreter approval, there is no fees required. So you do not have to pay anything in order to get this approval. One more thing I should mention is when you have the 5-year approval, you do have to submit proof of professional development. And the way that you do that is you go under Educator, you click Professional Development, it takes you to this page, and then you will click this button to add in your professional development. And that's pretty much it. Take care, everyone, and I hope this was informative.